Hey guys, this is John with Neowen, and today we're taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. So just a while ago I was recording the video with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and now we're going to take a look at the watch that launched alongside the Note 20 Ultra. So in terms of specs, we'll try to get through that really quickly. This is running on an Exynos 9110 processor that's dual core, 1.15 gigahertz. It's got 1 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigabytes of internal storage, and it's got a 340 milliamp hour battery, which I don't think Samsung says how long that's supposed to last specifically. At least I couldn't find that information. But 340 milliamp hours isn't bad, and depending on how well optimized Tizen is, that could be pretty good. If it was Wear OS, I would be a little more concerned, but it's not. So just like the phone, there's a little box that gets stuck here on this side. It has the manuals, and in this case, it also has the charging cable. So that's something to be aware of. But setting it off to the side, we have the watch right here. This is the Mystic Black 45mm version, stainless steel with a leather strap, so not the titanium version. And we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at it. So the leather strap definitely feels like leather. It's premium. I personally think I would prefer the rubber straps. I don't know, I think I would feel more comfortable with it. These are lighter probably, but I would prefer the rubber personally. Looking at the watch itself, here on the back you have the heart rate monitor and stuff, and the watch as a whole looks very premium and sleek. It's like shiny. It does look kind of weird when after you touch it a few times, but it's very shiny. It's elegant enough compared to the first Galaxy Watch. Samsung says this is 8% thinner, I believe, or something along those lines. 8% smaller, 15% lighter, and 14% thinner than the first Galaxy Watch. So that is significant. I didn't really try the first Galaxy Watch, so I don't know. But this looks way more usable than this is the Honor Watch GS Pro I've been using lately. And it's way more manageable just looking at it. And I also appreciate the fact that it's a more shiny surface here, because I feel like that one is very dry, and it actually makes my skin kind of weird if I adjust it too tightly. So this is that's a nice plus. So you got a home key here, back key there, and one of the notable features of Samsung smartwatches is the rotating bezel. I'm using 2 fingers, but it works easily with one. So we're just gonna go ahead and turn it on. I believe this is running Tizen OS 5.5 and One UI 2.0, One UI Watch 2.0. So this is the watch version of it, and we're gonna try to set it up. The display is 1.4 inches in the 45mm version, and it has a resolution of 360 pixels across. It's a circle, so whichever direction you go, it's going to be 360 pixels. So you have to set it up here. And I'm going to try to pair it with the Note 20 here. So can I connect back to it? I just reset the watch. So the thing is, oh, it still works. That's cool. I thought I would need to do like add it all over again. But I suppose this is better. So this pairing process takes a while. I'm just gonna get through that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we finished setting up the connection there. There's some app updates on my watch, but I'll do that later. So here we have a tutorial for using the watch, and we're gonna just follow it. So you rotate clockwise to see your widgets, and you rotate back to go back to the watch face. From the watch face, rotate right to notifications, and then the back key to go back, or you can just rotate as well. It's fine. Home key opens your app list thing. It looks like that, and you can open the quick panel by swiping down. Okay. And then touch the screen with your palm to turn it off. This is really cool. You just tap it there. And it doesn't actually turn off because that's a tutorial. But if you do it any other time, it just turns off. That's kind of cool. I think that's very an interesting gesture. So we saw the rotating bezel working there. So you got a bunch of widgets. You can navigate them by doing this. And it just goes through everything. Notifications there. And it's similar in the app drawer. So you open the app drawer here. And you can use the rotating bezel here to navigate. And with this way, you can just tap the center of the screen and it'll open the app you choose. But it does also work with the touchscreen in general if you want to open anything specific, like here, Samsung Health. And it just does that. So it's not like you need to use the rotating bezel for anything, but it might be more convenient sometimes. And I think it's just cool to have. So in terms of the features that are unique to this, you do get a bunch of health features. I don't know if I can see them easily in the app here. So of course you have the daily activity tracking, calories burned. I think I'm gonna say that's active minutes. I'm not entirely sure what that says. I don't know what that means. What's the blue? Oh, okay. So workout minutes in green, and the blue is move once every hour. I think just try to move every hour. That's cool. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Let's try that again. Samsung Health. So here you have a bunch of things. It counts your steps. You can start tracking your workout. I think it supports up to 39 types of exercise. So there's that. It has sleep tracking, heart rate monitoring, stress monitoring, blood oxygen monitoring too. You can record your calorie intake, water intake. You can compare results with your friends. Women's health. If you happen to be a woman, you can track your cycle. And there's a couple of features that I think might not be available in Portugal here, but the watch does also support blood pressure monitoring, and it has ECG. So if you want to, you can actually use it as a sort of electrocardiogram tool, and that can be useful, but it requires approval by health regulation entities like the FDA in the United States. So that's why it's not available everywhere easily. So I can't show it off right now, or I might not even be able to test it. I'll have to see if there's a way to enable it. But let's go back here. It's got pretty much everything related to Samsung. So that's a big thing, and one of the big sort of selling points with this is that with a Samsung phone, this becomes much more capable. For example, the messages and phone thing, especially the messages, from what I understand, the messaging experience is better with a Samsung phone because you can reply to notifications, you can get suggested replies even, and you can also view messages, view images in messages from the watch. So I think that's exclusive to a Samsung phone. So that's going to be a big advantage there if you're using a Samsung watch with a Samsung phone, is the ability to do those things with messages. Because getting notifications is pretty standard in smartwatches, but interacting with them is not as much. Wear OS does it pretty well, but many platforms don't. So that's why you got the ecosystem where you can do it with Samsung and Tizen here. But I will have to test that out. I'm also going to try to test the watch with a non-Galaxy phone to see if I'm wrong about that, if things work fine with other Android phones, of course. But But yeah, you got Bixby here because of course you want Bixby on your watch. It's the most useful thing on your phone, so of course you want that there. There's a bunch of things here. This is all Samsung stuff except Outlook. So apparently you can get Outlook on your watch, and they just put it on there by default. So gallery, music, find my phone, of course, a feature you'd expect to have. A PowerPoint controller, that could be interesting. So you can use this to control presentations. But, that's just a very quick look at how the interface looks. I'm gonna have to test it out. I'll be using it, like I said, with the non-Galaxy phone and then with the Galaxy Note 20. You can change the watch face on this. Samsung says there's over 80,000 watch faces available, so that is a lot of them. I will say that's a lot of watch faces, and some of these are cool, or you can customize them. So, of course, I'm just gonna. Oh, this is like a gallery. You can just set a picture there. Cool. That's kind of boring. I don't actually like that. But yeah, I like that one. So obviously I'm going to be reviewing this, and we'll see how I find it, how well it works with other Samsung products and with non-Samsung products. That's all I can say for now. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you for watching.